Alright, so this is Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler one-on-one. Got caught. Drew McIntyre tripping him down, trying to kick Drew McIntyre away, and Ziggler is receiving a couple of beatings there. Flipped over, Ziggler getting launched, and he went face first into the post, flying out of the ring. That did not end nicely for Ziggler at all. Now Drew McIntyre carrying Ziggler on his shoulders. Gonna throw him back into the ring like he was yesterday's garbage. Alright, now McIntyre with a stomp right to the hand. Drew McIntyre with a smug look on his face, knowing he's in full control. Another stomp right to the arm. And now into a modified headlock, shoulder breaker lock here on Ziggler, who's not in good shape. And now Drew McIntyre is getting his face like pushed away. There's a hair pull down. And now McIntyre right back into that arm lock on Ziggler. Now just raking the forearm right in the face and continuing on the pressure on Ziggler. This very violent whiplash effect on Ziggler. That was nasty. That was brutal. The Scottish freak. Back up to his feet. Boot right to the knee by Ziggler. There's a right hand to the face of McIntyre. Knife edge chop to McIntyre. Ziggler again with a knife edge. A third time Ziggler off the ropes. McIntyre catching the Ziggler DDT to a belly-to-belly throw. McIntyre's continued on this pressure and is countering everything that Ziggler has had basically. Very intense belly-to-belly throw. Big right hand right to the face of Drew, or of Ziggler. Now McIntyre has a microphone. Maybe I still have a soft spot on you, Dolph. I can think of going easy. Maybe something I don't like. I could pretend that you're Finn Balor. Now McIntyre driving Ziggler back first into the barricade, then back into the apron, and then a spine buster on the floor. Jeez, that was intense. Drew McIntyre with a huge smile on his face. And now Ziggler getting thrown back into the ring as McIntyre follows. Now McIntyre just screaming at Dolph. Right, Dolph. Yeah, Ziggler is groveling and trying to hit a right hand, and McIntyre catching it. What a shot. That was wicked intense. And there's Finn Balor. Speak of the devil. And Finn Balor is wandering down a ringside right now as the match continues, really. McIntyre has somewhat distracted himself And now that leg is bothering him clearly. Here comes McIntyre eating a big uppercut. There's another super kick. Ziggler is starting to fight back here against Drew McIntyre in this onslaught. McIntyre modified Alabama Slammer. Here's the pin. 2. Ziggler kicks out. Continues the fight as Dolph Ziggler. He's still fighting at least. I mean, I'm going to have to give him that. Just don't know how much fight is left in him. Drew McIntyre bringing up Dolph Ziggler to a suplex right on the top rope. Then a knife edge chop to Ziggler. And then a knife edge chop right to the chest, basically continuing on the pressure, this onslaught by the Scottish psychopath known as Drew McIntyre. Uber intense competition here, ladies and gentlemen. Big shots right to the midsection of Drew McIntyre, continuing on this pressure, and Ziggler's in a lot of trouble. Here's the pin 2, and McIntyre actually got the shoulder up from that. Very intense DDT. Drew McIntyre trying to reach out, but Finn Balor just continuing to stare a hole into McIntyre. Launch over the top rope and out of the ring. And Ziggler with a flying crossbody to McIntyre and still teeing off. McIntyre is now eating a big shots here too, or by Dolph Ziggler. Then a knife edge again to McIntyre. Jeez. Well, that was an annihilation of the furthest degree. Drew McIntyre telling people to move. Then dropping Ziggler crotch first. That sucked. Oh yeah, this is definitely a message to Finn Balor. Thrown back in the ring, and there's Finn Balor just dropkicked Drew McIntyre right out of his boots. Balor took out. Wow. And McIntyre is hurt. He's hurt bad with that drop kick. There's a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, that's a 9, and barely got in there. Super kick to Drew McIntyre, 2 and 3, and Dolph Ziggler picks up the win. Wow.